Hi guys, today we're going in the best place of Kyiv. It's called like Coffee Action. Coffee in Action.
Yeah, coffee in action.
Yes, it has like the best rating in TripAdvisor, and we should try this coffee, and we will have interesting discussion about America and about Ukraine.
And we're being objective here. It just happens to be the #1 spot in TripAdvisor and 4.9 rating in Google. I mean, I assume that it's going to be interesting, but it just happens to be here in Podol, which is a historic neighborhood here in Kyiv. So, hey, how's your coffee? Is it good? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the differences between the United States, well, I suppose North America and Ukraine. This is going to be more about like the 10 things that I think that Americans can't necessarily adjust to in Ukraine. Certain things that will require like some global changes to how you, I suppose, view certain things. And we thought we were going to have coffee in this wonderful little place, and because it's such a hot topic and such an interesting topic to talk about, we thought we'll need some coffee to help us make better sense of it. By the way, this is delicious. I highly recommend you could come down to this place. It's very nice. So I thought we're going to discuss a little bit about Ukraine, and we're going to talk a little bit about how Ukraine differs from the United States, and basically things that people would have to adjust to in order to get used to Ukraine. I was going to talk about like what it is, what the actual thing is, what are the causes, like what is the reason why people in Ukraine behave that way, and then some of the examples of it, right, and how people can actually get used to it. So the first thing I was going to talk about is what you see is what you get culture in Ukraine. So in Ukraine, what you see is what you get when it comes to prices, when it comes to like things like tips maybe. But in America, they're hidden. You don't see them. You don't know how much to pay because taxes are added at the end of the order.
You see it in check?
Yeah, like for coffee, like it's $1, but you have to, in Canada, for example, you have to pay $1.15 when they actually type it into the cash register. So you never see the final price on the display. And the second thing is that you're expected to pay tips. In Ukraine, you also expect to pay tips, but over there, if you paid less than 15%, now it's like 20% tip in restaurant, the waitress is going to be angry at you. She's going to come out, she's going to be like, is something wrong, why didn't you leave the tip? You're going to basically offend people.
Dear, but it's the same as in Ukraine too. If you're not give the tip to girls in restaurants, they will offer to do. They will angry.
Yeah, but do you have to leave 15%? And like I said, it's not only restaurants, it's cafes.
15% from your
dresser,
check.
It's hairdresser.
If you have check, and it's 15%.
Yeah.
Ukraine is the same.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
The most restaurants always indicate amount of money you have to pay for tips.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think that the reason for that in the first place is because America is really built upon trying to get people to pay more money. So like basically you see for $1, you're like, okay, I have $1. But in the end, when they count the money up, you pay a little bit more. You pay so they try and sort of seduce you with low price, right? Like when you go to a restaurant, you think you only have to pay like 500 hryvnias or whatever on you, and that's what you pay when you get the check. But that's not the case in America, right? Because first of all, you see let's say it's $5. On top of that, you get the tax, which you don't see. On top of that, you have to pay the tip, which you don't see. So like again, you have to calculate, imagine, I suppose, the amount of money that you'll have to pay beforehand. And people in America, if they come from America, they come to Ukraine, and then to them it's going to be like complete shock. So the second thing is interesting. It's about relationships, but not like between guys and girls. It's relationships between other people. So basically,
what's the difference between the
the difference is when you're trying to go out together, like in a restaurant or something. I think that in America, your friends would never ask you for money ever. It's considered wrong to do it. Yeah, they would like for example, if you have a friend.
But if you don't have money, for example.
Yeah, you talk to your family, like your brother, your sister.
But friends
even if
for
they
what?
Even if they live in a different country.
But for what?
But they have a different sort of relationship, I think, with.
Do you think it's friends, or you think it's friends that don't help you in any difficult situation?
Well, no, I just there's like a huge separation between money and friendship. There's like separation in America. I heard of a story of a guy driving somebody to the airport, for example, and his friend would actually pay him for gas, and it's okay in America, right? But in Ukraine, I think that would be considered strange. But in America, it's more strict, like they separate it. But some people have like best friends, and that's how they
because
behave.
for what friends if they don't help you in different situations? Maybe it's not enough money you have, for example, and they can help you. I think it's nothing in it. They can help you in any time. Friends, it's for all your life. Like they help you.
In Ukraine, but that is very, very rare. To have that kind of friendships in America, because in America the word friend means different things. That's what I'm trying to say. In America, you can call anybody a friend. At work, he's a friend. Nobody uses the word acquaintance, like знакомый in Ukrainian. And the other thing is, like I said, it's the attitude towards money is different.
Okay, and what relationships they have? They talk. What about what they talk? And I don't know, about business.
No, I had a friend for a long time. I've known for 20 years in Canada. I was his friends from 14 years old. We just did things together. It's different. Like Ukraine is different. It's a different environment, and it's a different attitude you have towards friends. Okay, number 3, strange. It's understanding of luxury. It's something that will shock an American, I guess.
You think in Ukraine people are very luxury?
No. In terms of what it is, Levi's jeans or Calvin Klein or these, they're expensive. And when you buy it, people think, wow, you're wearing like luxury stuff. And in America, it's like bums can wear
like
it. Yeah, and there's even a word in Ukraine. It's called luxury, da? Like some people say. Like a Volkswagen Golf is a car, right? It's called luxury. Yeah, by the way, they had a law in Ukraine where they said that now you have to pay taxes if your car is worth more than $40,000 new or something like that. And now certain like cars like Volkswagen Passat is considered luxury according to the law. If your car is 5 years old or younger, you have to pay.
It's in Ukraine, yes?
In Ukraine, yes. Yeah, like an American who is used to seeing like Volkswagen Golf as a compact car comes to Ukraine and it's a different meaning for him. To Ukrainians, anything imported is considered good still, right? This one, you're gonna like the number 4 one, men and women.
Men and women.
Yeah.
Wow, it's interesting.
You're gonna like this one. And this is one that I thought long and hard, and based on what you said and based on other, like I think girls expect, for sure, they expect flowers like once a month, right?
Oh, it's about relationships.
Yeah.
Not once a month or 2 times a month, you know? It's like a desire of men in relationships.
Yeah,
but
okay.
in America, I think they don't give flowers, yes? They don't give flowers.
They give gifts. But they're more like symbolic.
Gifts.
Actually, that's another thing. They don't have flowers everywhere. Flowers are not accessible. Here, you find flowers everywhere. There, you have to look for flowers. It's like you're trying to look for dry cleaning. When you look for dry cleaning, you have to look, oh shit, where do I go to find dry cleaning? No, but it's going to be difficult for an American that comes here.
Girls are happy. Girls are happy when man gives them flowers, you know? I don't know how to say in English. Okay, they are equal too. So it's the same as in America, but it's your desire. And in America, it's your desire to give flowers or not to give flowers.
Would a girl feel bad if a guy doesn't give her any gifts for like maybe like a few months?
She start to think that he doesn't feel anything.
Yeah. Well, my point is, an American girl may not think that at all. She would not think. It would not occur to her in her head to think that way.
Because it helps. It helps to be closer.
Yes,
you know?
Of course, I agree.
It's like updates your relationships all the time. It makes them fresh. You know, it's not like the same all the time.
Yeah.
You refresh your relationships by giving. I don't know, by giving something, maybe not so expensive, not so like it's maybe can be cheap stuff, but you give something to this person, you do something for this person, and it's like feels something, you know, like not one time in the year, because she starts to think that you forgot about her, you know. You have work, she has work, and that's all.
It's important to keep your relationship alive in any way, right? Not just flowers, not just maybe in any way, right? But in Ukraine, it seems like flowers like a bigger part.
Because girls like flowers all the time. They are like
in Ukraine they do. Yeah.
Yes, and especially when it's spring or summer, flowers everywhere, and it's beautiful, and it's influence on your mood all the time.
You just love that. Is interesting. It's about flexibility, and this is hear me out. This is how it goes. In America, people are stubborn, but the system, the government, is flexible. In Ukraine, the people are flexible, but the government is stubborn. And one of the reasons why people are stubborn in America is there's a very famous myth or stereotypes that people say that Americans are like robots, right? Americans are like, they're going to like not be sincere, they're going to be like robots, they're going to be like, yes, they're going to like talk to you from a script, like they're reading off some paper. And you can even see it how people drive in America, right? And when you're driving on the left side of the road, if somebody's like trying to tell you to move over, people will never move over from the left side. They will always drive slower than everybody else, and you're trying to flash them. And that's one thing that's different completely in Europe. Ukraine is more collective, like where people are a group and they respect each other more. But in America, there's a culture of being independent and individual.
I don't know, maybe I'm not agree with the opinion that Americans like stubborn. I don't think they're like stubborn like robots. Why they're like robots? Are always kind with you.
It's like, I'm doing what I want, and the hell with everybody else, They're not very considerate.
Maybe I can't agree
areas.
or disagree with it because I don't know about Americans a lot of stuff. So
and people are more okay to criticism. If you're gonna like in Ukraine, you see like a woman with children that are making a lot of noise. In Ukraine and Russia, you can come up to them and like some people do that. Some people be like, oh, like mamasha, like. Yeah, they're like, okay, why don't you keep an eye on your children? In America, children are like, they're free to do anything. And oh my God, if you dare to say something to the mother, it's completely unexpected. It would never, it would never happen, right?
You think it's normal?
That's how it is there. That's how it is here. It's just a different approach to being more individual. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. The next one's going to be interesting. It's going to be about rudeness and politeness. In America, this is really interesting. If you talk to Americans, you probably Canadians, you probably know. But if you're like your boss at work or somebody like who's with you, he will tell you like, great job, That just means that it's okay, Or they can tell you, oh, I'm not sure about that, like, maybe that's not the best answer. Like that means like no, 100%. Or when they say, sometimes the people tell you, oh, like let's grab a coffee sometime in America, But that doesn't mean that they want to grab a coffee with you. It just means that, I don't know if I want to meet up with you, maybe not, Like this is essentially what it means. Ukraine is like Russia, right? What you say is what it is. Let's say a fat person, right? You would never ever, tell them, oh, here's some advice like on how you can lose your weight,
So they afraid to
people are afraid. That's number one. And number two, again, what I just said, they do like, you're doing great job, you're doing great, this is awesome, shoot for the moon, you're the best, these kinds of things. They're very American. It's an American way of talking in a way.
Maybe, I don't know, but in Ukraine, people also afraid to offend each other, They can tell you, but they can tell you gently, maybe like gently, yes, to give you some advice.
Yeah, but the thing is a completely different approach. If you are with your friends and you're going out to drink, let's say, hey, we're all gonna have like a shot. Do you want some too? And you'll be like, no. And they're gonna be like, oh, come on, I'll give you some, Like, but in America, no means no. Like they will never ever act.
And what you like more?
No, I like being direct. I like that about Ukraine. I like that very much. It's like saying yes and no means different things. In Ukraine, saying no means, maybe it's a yes. In America, no means 100% no. In America, I don't know, that means no. But in Ukraine, it means really, I don't know. Okay, so we're now at number 7, and it's more about happiness and I guess sadness, or no, more like optimism and pessimism, I suppose.
I like this stuff.
That's an interesting one. Again, my opinion is this: Ukrainians are pessimistic and they expect the worst, and Americans are optimistic. The ideal is where they are aiming for. They're aiming for the best. Again, that's why in America you have these sayings like "shoot for the moon," like you can do it. These are American sayings.
I don't know. Maybe it's my surround people like very happy and they're so cool and happy. I don't know, but I have to disagree with you about Ukrainians' sad or not happiness. I don't know.
Self-defeatist attitude. I came to Ukraine to live here from like America, right? And then you tell me, why would anybody want to come here? Like, you don't see anything good about your country, and you don't understand why anybody would come. You know, this is a very prevalent attitude in Ukraine, and it has been, especially after the Euromaidan revolution and then the war and everything. It's a big thing. And then even though Ukraine is kind of improving, I would say in many ways, that attitude is prevalent. It's a prevalent attitude.
Maybe
But again, it's two different things. Like, Americans they expect the ideal. People in Russia especially, they complain that, Americans, they go out and they protest for like gay rights, for abortion rights. You can protest, that's true. In Canada, we had a protest of Sri Lankan people, Tamil Sri Lankans, who were protesting against some government thing in their country, in Canada, and they blocked off like 4 roads for like a week. People are idealistic in America. That means they think it's okay to allow some guy that like you have nothing to do with to protest some little thing that is important to him. Little thing like his political condition in his country. Right? That's one thing that is annoying to me personally. Is number 8. I don't know. Ukrainians just absolutely, they love stamps. Russians, they love stamps. Like, they can't live without stamps. These government institutions, they don't communicate with each other. So the information doesn't go from one to the other. It's like you have to bring a form, stamp it, bring it to the other guy, stamp it, bring it to the other guy. That will shock an American. That will shock them.
They don't have the stamps there?
In America, no. Well, why? Everything should be connected, and the information should flow between the two automatically, right? Things are not going to be done for you in Ukraine. They're not going to be done for you. You have to do them yourself. You're responsible for doing everything.
Because in Ukraine, nobody care about you, you know. So you have.
In terms of the government, yeah, the government. But that's why they make things difficult. That's why all these stamps, all these papers going back and forth. Maybe it will change eventually, but for now, you have this like Soviet. The generation is still kind of Soviet, which is so strange because people like my age, like people who are in the 30s right now, didn't even live in the Soviet Union, right? And they still have to deal with the Soviet remnants of the Soviet past. It's about dressing, okay? How people look, how people come across.
First impression?
Yeah.
I understand you right, yes.
How you're perceived and how you're received. America. It's an individualistic society, I mentioned it before, and Americans don't really care about what anybody thinks about them, right? They shop in their pajamas, they shop in their robe. My neighbor in Canada, when I moved there, she used to drive around in her robes all the time, and she walked around like in store.
Really?
Yes.
In sleepers?
Maybe, but
wow.
to her it makes sense because she has a car. You just go into the car. Nobody sees you, right? You're not on a metro.
But you are like walking on the store.
Yeah.
In the store, in pajama and slippers.
People don't
strange,
care.
And people don't care.
It has a lot to do with individualism. They don't care about what anybody thinks, and the most important thing is nobody in their friends, in their family, nobody tells them anything about it because it's valued highly. It's your individualism.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a little bit strange. I think that people should have some rules because if you're not have like some rules, you're like bummed.
No rules.
And maybe opinion from another person. I don't know. It's important too. Opinion from another person because it's like from another. You can look at from another side. You know how you look, how you walk, how you have like. Bad habits or right habits.
This is another interesting topic about America is how they act when you invite somebody to your house. In Russia, Ukraine, when you invite somebody over, it's considered you're inviting somebody over. You should dress up. You should provide a nice table.
Not always. You have to provide your guests, for example, like with coffee, tea.
In America, when you're inviting somebody over, people over, all you do is you invite them, but it's the responsibility of who's coming to bring like drinks, snacks, think of what to do, because you're just giving them the house, but they're supposed to come and bring like entertainment, like maybe a game, maybe like some kind of.
Of course,
and it's not your responsibility.
Dear, in Ukraine
and you don't have
too,
to dress up.
It's responsibility of two persons. You know, who invite and who are invited. So like you have to have something with you, like some stuff, some sweet stuff, some games or something. And who invited you? Of course, not necessary to dress up like very beautiful or something, but you have to suggest something to this person that you invited, like some tea, some coffee, some things that you have in your refrigerator, because it's like normal. It's a rules of etiquette.
I should make a clarification that I'm talking about young people, because you know when you're older and you have like a sit-down meal, of course. When I was like young, like a student, and I was invited to people's houses, I was never given like anything. I had to bring stuff, and that's what happened. The person that invited you, they were under no obligation to provide even coffee, even tea. In Ukraine, there's a lot of sand on the street with holes with dirt. There's so much sand on the street in Kyiv and in Russia. I don't know why there's so much sand. In Ukraine, in America, sidewalks are clean. You think about a person, right? They goes outside of the house, into the car, their clean car. They go out to a clean mall in a clean sidewalks. And then they come home, and they don't even. Many people don't take their shoes off.
I don't know. Maybe they don't care about their health, their coziness, you know, their comfort in their house. Because for me, house is comfortable when it's clean, you know. So I wouldn't allow, for example, a person to go in shoes in my house. I think it's strange. Even it's everything is clean, and your car is clean, and the roads are clean. I don't know. I care about my comfort and my coziness. You know?
The last but not least is the individualism, and I can go on and on and on about it but one thing that really shocked me was how people don't have a personal space in Ukraine. Like some people, if you're standing in line, some people can be behind you, in front of you. And Americans are so individualistic, and they care about themselves so much.
They don't have a
that when they stand in line, they will stand 1 meter away from somebody, because 1 meter is like 3 feet away. Because
even
if
without
somebody,
coronavirus?
Of course, because it's considered that if you get closer to somebody closer than 1 meter, it's to them it's threatening. And if it's a guy that's like big, he can hit you maybe.
Oh, really?
Yes. If it's a girl, she will tell you to like get away from her. You know, it's not a really big. It's not a big
about
problem.
How we're sitting now because we're so close.
You will never really, notice it unless you go in line in Ukraine. When people stand like just like dedushkas and like old guys and babushkas, they're going to like look over your shoulder. They're gonna be like, let me see like Ukrainian, because Ukrainian is more of a homogenous culture, right? Everybody's the same. Everybody's white. Everybody's Ukrainian here. You know, it's a European thing. Like if you go to Germany, everybody's German. You either adapt to German life or you don't adapt. You know, this is sort of like how they see it. But in America, it's more like, you can be whoever you want, and that's like.
Finish, because I'm tired to talk. Okay, guys, so we hope that it was interesting video for you, and you have like some comments maybe about some topics that we discussed. So see you next time.
Take care, guys.
Bye bye.